Hey everyone, I'm Samantha. Thanks for checking out the video vault on my Career Reroute website. So this training is all about how you can leverage your non-remote experience and skills to get remote positions. I'm going to take us through kind of 3 different things you can be doing if you are looking for remote work but you don't have any remote experience. We're going to start with identifying your related skills, highlighting non-remote work, and also how you can implement this always learning mindset. So first, let's talk about identifying your related skill set. There's a couple of different skills that you can really highlight even if you don't have any remote experience. One is asynchronous communication. Remote companies are really embracing this asynchronous model where you are documenting your work in a clear and concise way so that regardless of when another teammate logs on to work on the same project, they can pick up from where you left off. So examples of where you might be already doing this could be in your emailing at the current company, the way that you're preparing and collaborating with others while you're preparing for meetings or events, or maybe communications with vendors or organizations or partners of your company. All of these things that are text-based asynchronous communication can be leveraged as a related skill and experience on these remote job applications. Another skill that you probably have experience with that you can leverage in these remote applications is project management. Essentially, everything that you're doing in remote work is project management because you are always finding different tools and integrations to help make your work easier. So if you have had the title of project management, that is a great way to highlight that experience and connect some of the skills that go along with that. But also if you are an educator and you are in charge of creating curriculum or delivering information to a group of people, if you've worked in HR or perhaps you've been an administrative assistant where you are coordinating and collaborating and organizing information, all of this can fall under project management that can be used as leverage on these applications. The last one is your self-management skills. So this is all about your time management skills, your ability to prioritize information, to delegate tasks, to delegate your time. All of this when you're working remotely is so important because as a remote employee, your company trusts you to take your time, implement that time, and get your best work done. So if you can talk about experiences where you've been challenged to do this better, or you've learned and started to implement strategies where you've gotten really good at managing your own time, companies are going to see that you are a trustworthy and dedicated employee that can take this work remote and get it done in a fantastic way that serves the company and serves you as a professional. So the second part that I want to talk about is how you can make non-remote experience stand out. So say all of your work experience up until this date has been in person, whether that be in an office or in some sort of a school or organization, whatever it is, it's in person. There are ways that you can make this experience stand out for remote jobs. So what that looks like is highlighting related skills that you used while you were in that in-person job that you can then talk about how they're connected to this new remote role. So in this, mindset is key, really looking through the position that is posted and looking at the required skills and seeing when was I responsible for this? When did I implement this change? And being able to speak to specific projects and things that you were involved in when you used these skills. So focusing on those related skills on your resume, on your LinkedIn entries, and highlighting those skills that cut across whatever kind of work environment you're in is going to help you show off how these non-remote experiences, these in-person experiences, have actually prepared you for remote work. Okay, the last thing I want to quickly talk about is this mindset of always learning. And I think that this is huge, and I think I'm going to do a whole nother training on just ways that you can be always learning when you are looking for remote work. But when it comes to remote work, there's usually a big tech stack that you need to be familiar with or willing to learn, because with remote work comes a lot of asynchronous communication that is happening over these different tech tools. So say that you have never used a tech tool in your job, or perhaps you're limited to just email and Google Docs. It's no problem, and you are still able to learn these skills even if you haven't done it in a professional way. So there's a couple of different ways that are my favorite ways to be continuously learning. One of those, if you haven't checked it out yet, you have to check out Coursera. There is free learning for absolutely anything you want to know. You can find out how to do it on Coursera. And for a small price, they usually will give you like a certificate that you can download and add to your resume or add to your LinkedIn. So looking through the jobs that you're applying to, seeing what these tech things are that they want you to know, and then going and saying, I'm going to dedicate 2 hours this week to learning the basics of this technology so that I can add it to my resume and talk to the hiring manager about how I just went out and spent my 2 hours learning this skill. Another thing that you can be doing is just start using the tools on your own. For example, I use Asana as a task management for everything. I use it in my job. I use it for my website projects. I also just use it as my to-do lists. So similar things could be Trello. A lot of companies are using these project management boards to manage their entire workbase. And so if you just start using those passively for your own use, for your own benefit, you can speak to how you've really taken a deep dive into learning these new tools. The most important thing, though, when it comes to this always learning mindset is you have to tell people that you're doing it. You have to be posting on LinkedIn after you finish your Coursera training. Consider writing a long form post on LinkedIn and share what you learned from this training, or why you love learning Asana, or why you love Google Docs. Sharing this mindset and showing your professional network that you are learning and that you want to know more about what it's going to take for you to become a remote employee is key. When it comes to your interview, being able to speak to the hiring manager about what you've been doing to prepare, what questions you have, what challenges you think you might face, all of this is going to show the team that you want to work on that even though you haven't worked remote before, you have transferable skills, you can connect your experience to the work you're going to be doing in this role, and you're willing to learn the skills and the tools that you need to get this job done. So like I said, using the right tools, reading and watching documentation of tools that you're trying to learn is a really great way too. You can go onto any tool's website to find and read their documentation, or check out their training videos or their videos on YouTube to see how it's being used. And as just a final reminder, talk about it. Share with your network what you are learning so that they know that you are serious about becoming this remote employee. Thanks a lot for watching this long training. Like I said, I think I'm going to go into a whole other training soon about how you can be leveling up your skills for remote work. But in the meantime, feel free to check out the other trainings on this video vault, or check out my blog to see some of the new skills that I am learning and that I'm sharing as I go through this process with you all. Talk to you later.